Welcome back in. This segment brought to you by Madisonville Marine. For an unmatched selection of both makes and models of boats, you have to go to Madisonville Marine. We thank them for many, many years of supporting the Sports Source as we reach number 600. And I want to welcome in a good friend of mine, Mike Stoll, former Vol offensive lineman, former CFL offensive lineman. Mike, thanks for joining us.
Great. It's great to be here. 600th show. I timed it just right.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't like that was planned or anything.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I did want to say that we're going to be talking with Mike about something very important in the middle of today's show, so I want you to stick around for that. He'll also be with us for overtime. But quickly, your old spot on the offensive line. You know what you saw last year. Got better in the second half of the season. Dobbs certainly helped. Getting the starting five with Jacob Gillum coming back in helped. But how much improvement can you see in a year in this offensive line, in your opinion?
I think you'll see a tremendous amount of improvement if everybody stays healthy. The biggest thing is if you look back in 1988, Tennessee lost their first 6 games. They won their last 5. That offensive line moved up to the next year in 89, and they won 11 games. But everybody was healthy and intact. They've got issues on the offensive line right now. Got a few guys banged up already, torn out for the season. So you're thrusting freshmen into the role, and that's not ideal for an offense that needs to keep clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the things that I talked about all offseason is as much as people said, well, this guy couldn't play, that guy couldn't play. You want those guys from last year to develop because so much of that position is you got to know unspoken communication of what the guy next to you is going to do. And that's why you needed those same guys from last year in there. So the more bodies you change over, the more difficult I'm afraid it's going to be, at least early in the season.
Yeah,
Go
absolutely.
ahead.
No, absolutely, because you get everybody on the same page. You get everybody working to communicate. You saw when Matt Crowder went down and Missouri came in and they ran twist games, they ate Tennessee alive because you don't have everybody communicating on the same page and at the same level. If you keep shuffling bodies in early on, it's going to mess things up.
Let me ask you about the right tackle position with the injury to Jackson. Sanders out now for the year, both those guys. Been some shuffling. Butch Jones has returned. He's turned once again to Coleman Thomas, who struggled last year, but the young man had never played right tackle ever. Yeah. And then he's a true freshman thrown in there last year. That was the deep end of the pool. He's got him in there. He says he's much more prepared this year. A lot of fans want to see the freshman, Drew Richmond, that was all hyped up. How do you handle that if you're Butch Jones?
Well, I think you go with the known commodity. Coleman Thomas has played games, and I watched him last year. There was times he had flashes that he was pretty good, and he did some things. He got lost in space. He got lost on the twist games a lot. I think he's going to be more comfortable with that. What you want to see, though, is you want to see your freshman come along. Richmond is a better athlete, I think, than Thomas. He's proven to be a better athlete, but you go with a known identity, and the fact is Thomas has been in there, seen the reps, and you'll see tremendous amount of a leap of experience and knowledge from your first year to your second year.
All right, very good. Mike Stoll will be back with us a little later in the show. A very important segment that all men out there, all our male viewers need to stick around for. Also with us in our overtime segment. When we come back, we're going to take a look back to our humble beginnings. We got some interviews with the other guys that I think you'll find entertaining. Hope so anyway. Could find it interesting. Some behind-the-scenes stuff and some very embarrassing video of me and the rest of the crew. As we send you to break, we got somebody else here today, Sterling Hinton.
Hey. Everybody get up. Put your hands up in the air. Put your hands up in the air. Put your hands up in the air. Put your hands up in the air.
From East Tennessee to the Carolinas, no job is too big for Benedict Construction. Patios and decks, custom remodels, even custom homes. With a reputation for excellence, rely on the custom work of Benedict Construction.